Just a heads up. Which again, we have to.
I think I got that right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're here to listen to them.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Good. Everybody there? All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emily Truman. I serve as the 2026 Chair of the Gates County Board of Commissioners. I'm joined by Vice Chair Nathan Berryman, Commissioner Jonathan Craddock, Commissioner Brian Roundtree, Commissioner Dave Forsyth, County Manager Scott Sauer, County Attorneys Pitt Godwin and Thomas Wood, and Clerk to the Board Renee Draper. I'd also like to note that we have a public hearing during this meeting, and a note for the audience that there are separate sign-in sheets for those. There are 2 for the public comment portions for the meeting, for the public comments, and then for the public hearing comments. So if you're signing up for those, just make sure you're on the appropriate sheet. And at this time, we will rise for the pledge and the invocation. Okay. All right. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together again for Gates County. We ask for wisdom, we ask for just patience, and we ask for understanding of each other as we communicate our various perspectives. Lord, I thank you as you have seen us all here safely, and just pray for your hand over this meeting and to see us home safely as we move on to make Gates County a better place for all of us and to work together for the betterment of the county. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So opening up here, let me go. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second to shuffle some papers. All right. All right, so we are going to move into the approval of the agenda. Ms. Draper has prepared a proclamation honoring the life and legacy of Patricia Miss Pat Brown Familar, which also further proclaims renaming the library in her memory. If there aren't any other amendments to the agenda,
I actually would like to propose an amendment for a closed session at the end of the meeting for personnel matters.
Okay, so we have a motion to amend the agenda for closed session matters. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, so any discussion going forward? All in favor of the closed session? All opposed? All right. So moving forward again with the agenda, we'll ask for the proclamation to be added under new business, and if we could adopt the agenda as amended. Seek a motion for that.
Madam Chair. Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the agenda? Okay. Thank you all. We are going to move down to the the consent agenda now. Are there any amendments or clarifications for the items listed? And if not, if we can get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, so move.
So second, Madam Chair.
All right, if no discussion, all in favor? Okay, it's unanimous. All right, we are moving first into a special recognition that we have tonight. So if I could call the members of the Gates County Community Partnership to the front to accept the Governor's Volunteer Service Award. This is an award that is given out each year. They were nominated by Ms. Reba Green Holly, and I just want to read a little bit of what was stated in the statement of purpose for the award, and then we will ask them to come up. We have Mr. Benjamin Saunders and Commissioner Brian Roundtree here as well, representing Gates County Community Partnership. So since its founding in 2018, Gates County Community Partnership has exemplified a profound and sustained commitment to volunteerism and community service in Gates County, North Carolina. Driven by its mission to inspire and increase community engagement for the educational and social development of youth, Gates County Community Partnership stands as a model of volunteer-led impact and community partnership. At its core, GCCP engages volunteers, educators, community partners, parents, and youth in collaborative service that elevates opportunity and access across Gates County and neighboring communities. This organization's ethos, rooted in inclusion and access, ensures that volunteerism drives not only activities but meaningful, measurable impact. The organization's work is driven by its board of directors who volunteer their time in service of their home community. There is no staff and no payroll. Everything Gates County Community Partnership offers to its community is free to its participants, including programs, activities, collaborations, and assistance to other nonprofits and entities, including Gates County Schools. So they have been awarded the North Carolina Governor's Volunteer Award, and I would like to again invite Mr. Saunders and Commissioner Brownshire, if you want to join, I don't know, okay, to the podium.
We also
Yes.
have this 7 total grants.
Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize there. So, and then we also have, he was saying just for the microphone there, Miss Sandra Jordan Branch. So, we all could.
What's that?
Governor's Award for Volunteer Service. So this is to certify the Gates County Community Partnership is hereby awarded the highest designation of appreciation for distinguished volunteer service to the people in the state of North Carolina. And it is to be granted and extended all honors and courtesies provided by this office, entitled thereunto by this certificate of recognition and appreciation by Governor Josh Stein. So.
Should be. Should have an agenda.
Here we go. Here. All right. All right. And then Mr. Saunders had wanted the opportunity to just say a few words.
Chairman and members of the Gates County Board of Commissioners, County Manager, elected officials, community leaders, Gates County Schools representatives, friends, supporters, and fellow citizens of Gates County. Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Gates County Community Partnership, it is my distinct honor and privilege to accept the 2026 North Carolina Governor's Volunteer Service Award. We are deeply humbled by this recognition and sincerely grateful to Governor Josh Stein, the state of North Carolina, and the Gates County Board of Commissioners for acknowledging the work of our organization and the countless volunteers, partners, educators, and supporters who have made the work possible. The award is especially meaningful because it celebrates something that lies in the very heart of what we are, service. Since our founding in 2018, Gates County Community Partnership has operated with a simple but ambitious mission: to inspire and increase community engagement by the citizens of Gates County for the educational and social development of its youth. Everything we do flows from that mission. What many people do not realize is that Gates County Community Partnership is a completely volunteer-driven organization. We have no employees, no payroll. Every program, every initiative, every grant application, every scholarship review, every event, every meeting, and every act of service is led by volunteers who simply love Gates County and believe in its future. Our philosophy has always been simple. Free is key. We believe opportunities should never be limited by a family's financial circumstances. Access to enrichment, mentorship, educational experiences, technology, and personal growth should be available to every person who desires it at no cost. That belief has guided us throughout our journey. Over the years, we have been fortunate enough to partner with extraordinary organizations and individuals. One of our earliest and most influential partnerships was with the Moorhead Planetarium and Science Center at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Under the leadership of Dr. Crystal Harden and her talented team, Moorhead launched the Saunders Science Scholars Program, a STEM youth development and college readiness initiative that has transformed the lives of Gates County students for nearly a decade. That partnership became the catalyst of the creation of Gates County Community Partnership. It continues to inspire our work today. We have also been fortunate to enjoy a tremendous relationship with Gates County schools. From Superintendent Dr. Barry Williams to principals, teachers, counselors, and staff throughout the district, Gates County Schools has been an unwavering supporter and collaborator. Simply put, Gates County Community Partnership would not be what it is today without the trust, partnership, and commitment of the school system. Together, we have accomplished some remarkable things. We were instrumental in acquiring the Gear Up program for Gates County Schools, a 7-year initiative that provided tutoring, mentoring, college visits, and college readiness support to local students. We partnered with Gates County Schools to lead the conception and creation of the athletic training facility at Gates County High School. We worked alongside Gates County Schools and the county government to bring technological improvements to the Gates County Community Center, including high-speed fiber broadband and large-screen meeting room monitors that benefit residents of all ages. We collaborated with Gates County High School to establish the Gates County High School Athletic Hall of Fame, ensuring that the accomplishments of our graduates will inspire future generations. Through the Access Initiative, we've donated approximately 200 computers and provided internet hotspots to students in need, helping bridge the digital divide and ensuring greater educational equity. We have awarded scholarships, supported college tours, organized youth camps, sponsored leadership experiences, facilitated STEM opportunities, and invested thousands of hours into strengthening pathways for young people throughout our community. And our work continues. Today, we remain actively engaged in programs that address the educational, social, and developmental needs of our youth. Through Activate Futures, we are helping high school juniors and seniors prepare for college, careers, and life. Through Busting Boundaries, we are mentoring middle school boys and helping them develop confidence, leadership, and character. Through the Chat Bench initiative at the Gates County Community Center, we are encouraging community conversation, unity, and connection. Through the Access Initiative, we continue expanding access to technology for students and families. And a new thing we're doing is Team Partnership, our 17U travel basketball program. We are creating opportunities for young men to develop athletic skills, discipline, teamwork, and leadership while representing Gates County with pride. We are proud of these accomplishments. This award is not about what Gates County Community Partnership has done. It's about what a community can accomplish when people choose to serve. It belongs to every volunteer who has given their time, every educator who has opened the door for a student, every parent who has encouraged a dream, every donor who has invested in opportunity, and every partner who has said yes when we needed help. And also every young person who has trusted us enough to participate in our programs. I would also like to recognize our board of directors whose commitment and dedication make this work possible. Their service is entirely voluntary, yet their impact is immeasurable. And Shantae Lassiter Jordan is not here today, and Shirley Jones Jr. is not here. Those are our other two board members. But most importantly, I want to thank Gates County. The community has embraced our mission, supported our efforts, and continually reminded us why this work matters. The trust you have placed in us is both humbling and motivating. As we accept this award tonight, we do so with gratitude, but with also renewed commitment. The needs of our young people continue to evolve. The opportunities before us continue to grow, and our responsibility to serve remains as important as ever. We look forward to building new partnerships, creating new opportunities, and continuing to inspire and increase community engagement for the benefit of Gates County's youth. Thank you again to the state of North Carolina, the Gates County Board of Commissioners, our community partners, and the citizens of Gates County for this incredible honor. We are proud to receive the Governor's Volunteer Service Award, but we are even prouder to serve Gates County. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you, sir. Okay. All right, so moving down, we are going to move into the public hearing, the proposed annual budget for fiscal year 2026-2027. So at this time, we're going to need a motion to go into the public hearing for the proposed budget for the upcoming year.
So second.
All right, if there is no discussion, all in favor? Okay, so we are in the public hearing portion. So before we go into public comments, we're going to ask if County Manager Sauer can update the board and the public on the changes that we have made since it was presented on May 20th.
Certainly. Thank you, Madam Chair. The budget as is compiled this evening reflects the work, the discussion, and the hours of effort of our county staff, our department heads, and especially the governing body who have worked with us fully engaged. The general fund budget as it stands revised this evening is $18,063,428. It reflects a 3.3% increase. Total funds for all of our operating funds in the aggregate are $24,698,091. The tax rate will remain unchanged at 67 cents. That is different than what was presented in the budget message, which was a 3-cent increase. The tax rate will remain, unless there's other changes, at 67 cents. The governing body has worked through several scenarios related to personnel services and compensation, and this budget includes a 3% cost of living for all staff effective July 1. There's been significant discussion with the Gates County Board of Commissioners, and there are several items of note, especially with the changes with the closing of Buckland Elementary School. As the owner of the land and property at Buckland, the county has budgeted $80,000 in post-closure expenses that will cover utilities, small maintenance items, security, and such. We believe that number is hopefully double what we'll really need, but we wanted to have some flexibility there in case there is some significant issue to pop up. Since the last meeting in one of our work sessions, the board approved an immediate appropriation in the current fiscal year, 25-26, of $100,000, and the check has been delivered to the Board of Education, which is to help facilitate all of the immediate transitional activities and to support the cost of movers and trucks and boxes and the like. The budget ordinance also includes an additional $225,000, which is budgeted in a separate line item as a relocation contingency. In the couple of joint meetings that the Board of Commissioners had with the Board of Education, it was understood that there will be some cost and expenses. We may not know exactly what they are, but the board has positioned themselves so that they have funds available, readily appropriated, so at the time determined by the school system, they will make their presentation and the board consider the funding using that $225,000 contingency. The current expense budget for the Gates County schools will remain at the $2,953,000 mark. That was the final figure presented by the Gates County Board of Education I think it was June 1st. The capital outlay figure is now $200,000, which is $100,000 more than what was in the initial proposed budget. Accomplishing this budget and keeping the tax rate as low as possible and addressing a number of one-time capital needs, the appropriated fund balance, as the current revisions reflect, is $548,000 and $709. Probably one of the biggest, there were many items discussed, some removed, and probably the biggest addition that the board considered was some enhanced security access for our buildings with, I guess the term is electronic key fobs that can be issued to staff, and then when the staff's employment ends, those key fobs can be disconnected and turned off and deny any other access using that device. That system, as it was presented, and we understand it, was $178,000. So that was probably one of the largest add-ons. Staffing, there is only one new full-time position that was approved by the board in the final set of revisions. That is an election specialist as requested by the Board of Elections. It's important to note that the cost of that new position is partially offset by the reduction of 2 part-time positions in the elections office. There is also the increase of 1 limited service part-time position, and the funding was reduced just about by 50% from what was initially presented for the Department of Social Services. A couple of other, I just want to check my notes. We've had two recent work sessions since the budget was presented on June 1st. The board had 3 working sessions where they met with all department heads. There was considerable discussion about the funding for the Housing Committee. The funding remains in the budget at $10,000. There were discussions about some bonus payments for part-time and full-time employees of both the school system and the county. That has been deferred for future considerations, but that is not included in the budget for July 1. I believe I've hit all those. The total capital outlay that was approved by the board, including that $178,000 for the security system, is $319,000. So that reflects the changes, additions, and modifications approved by the board thus far in the process.
All right. Excuse me. Ms. Draper, do we have anyone sign up to speak for the public comment or public hearing portion of the meeting? We do not, okay? Nothing, okay, nothing to be read, okay. Is there anyone remaining in the audience that would like to speak regarding the proposed budget? Okay. All right, we have, okay. So do we have the things? So we have 5 minutes for comments in regards to the budget.
Good afternoon or evening, commissioners. How y'all doing? I just want to say thank you for allowing the Housing Committee to still have the $10,000 in the budget. We're still doing good work. We're still volunteers, and nobody gets paid doing this work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other for public hearing? Okay. All right, so we will now entertain then a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
No discussion, all in favor? All right, so we are out of the public hearing, back in regular session. Okay. Let me see here. All right, trying to look here, is now, I should be there. All right, so do we need to move forward then with any conversation about whether we want to adopt as is now? Is it the appropriate time? Is that, I'm trying to see under old business. Okay, I totally missed that line there. Thank you. Okay, so we will go forward. Spoke with Sheriff Campbell. He said he did not have any updates for the board. I'll look for not. Okay, so we'll move along past that. I'm moving into public comments. Ms. Draper, do we have anyone signed up to speak for the public comment portion of the meeting? No? Okay. All right, so we will then move along and to old business and open the floor for any further discussion that needs to take place regarding the changes to the proposed budget for fiscal year 26-27. And so Manager Sauer, is the budget ordinance in final form and ready for consideration for the board approval?
Yes, ma'am. If it would be the governing body's pleasure, a motion to adopt the budget ordinance for the fiscal year 2026, 2027, and setting the tax rate at 67 cents, no change for next year.
So moved.
We got everybody moving for it. All right.
I think it's full cycles first.
We got to move. We got a second?
Second.
All right. Is there any further discussion? And if not, we will call for a vote. All in favor? All right. It's unanimous. Whew, we survived budget season. Moving into the next one, right? Once one ends, the next one starts. Okay, so we're moving into the new budget, new business with a budget amendment. So if we could have Manager Sauer present this for the board, it should be referenced in your agenda packet.
Yes, Madam Chair. It's one budget amendment, F26040, in the amount of $2,300, which reflects the camp fees and contributions to support the camp fee expenditures for the 4-H camp with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Gates County Center, $2,300.
All right, do we have any questions for Mr. Sauer? And if not, if we get a motion to approve?
Motion wholeheartedly.
All right, second, if no discussion, all in favor? All right. Moving along, we have the clerk to the board report and updates. So we're going to ask Ms. Draper if she can come to the podium and present those.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. In your packet, you will find 3 applications for citizen advisory boards. We have a Kimberly Wilson. She has submitted for the Planning Board or the Board of Adjustment. We have Lakeisha Saunders for the Board of Adjustment and Roland Slinger for the Board of Adjustment. We currently have 2 positions vacant on the Board of Adjustment and 2 on the Planning Board.
Okay. And I will ask, because it was pointed out that we missed this last time after we had been doing it, if any of them are present and wanted to address the board, we'll give them that opportunity. And if, I can't see, is that waving? Okay. All right. All right, so open for discussion then?
So can you explain us one more time, going by order of presentation, how many applicants do we have for how many vacancies?
We have, so Ms. Wilson applied for the Planning Board or the Board of Adjustment, and then
How many vacancies are there?
on the Planning Board 2,
Okay.
and on the Board of Adjustment 2.
Okay.
So if we have the 3
So
for
it
Board of
seems like-
Adjustment, 1 for Planning Board, to approve her as Planning Board, and then the other 2 as Board of Adjustment, would fill the seats in a more efficient way, in my opinion.
No reason to oppose it? Yeah.
So,
So move for all 3 accordingly.
Second.
all right, any discussion or all in favor? If there is no discussion, okay, that is unanimous for those 3.
Okay, and then, not in your packet, but I did email all these applications to y'all, and they are at your seat. The Agriculture Advisory Board, I have 6 applications. There are 5 seats. As y'all know, we are in the process of reactivating this particular program, and legal counsel is actually still reviewing the ordinance updates. However, we're making progress, and I need 5 seats filled.
Right, so in my presentation here, we have one from Eeyore, one from Gates, one from Core Peak. This one is a Gates address, but a Gatesville voting district, I believe.
Yeah,
Is that
we have,
correct?
so I have Adam Stallings, Hobbsville, John Askew, Gatesville, Bundy Lane, Gatesville, Rick Morgan, Sunbury, Stuart Askew, Eeyore, and Earl Pretty, Gates.
All right, so I'm going to open for discussion, yeah?
Yes, I would recommend Mr. Askew for the Gatesville district.
Mr. Askew for Gatesville, all right, and the other 4 are from different voting districts. I know in the past, we tend to try and put boards so that they're distributed evenly among voting districts. It looks like the only one that has 2 applicants for it would be Gatesville.
Yes.
That's
Um,
I'd definitely recommend Mr. Morgan for Sunbury Core Peak.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we doing these one by one, or do we want to adopt?
You want to say?
Well, I mean, are we agreeing that, this should be?
One for
at
each
least one for
district?
each district?
Seems like that's fair, yeah. Fair
So
distribution.
we just have the 2,
So where do we have the, who are the 2 duplicates?
the Gatesville.
We have 2 for Gatesville. We have Mr. Askew and Mr. Lane that are both Gatesville district.
And you already recommended Askew, right?
Yes.
I'd go with that one, too.
Second.
Yeah.
All right, is there any further discussion? All right, and this is to approve Mr. Askew for Gatesville and the other 4 from the 4 other voting districts. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so if no further discussion, all in favor? All right.
Okay, there's also, so we've taken care of the Board of Adjustment, going down to the number of vacancies with our boards, commissions, councils, and committees. Board of Adjustment is now full. Planning Board now has 1 vacancy. Then we have Trillium Health Resources, Northern Regional Board, that will have 1 vacancy now that Director Smith is no longer in the county. Nursing Home Advisory Committee, we have 6 vacancies. We have taken care of the Agriculture Advisory Board just now. Recreation Advisory Board, there are 4 vacancies. And then the Opioid Prevention and Intervention Committee, I have 3 vacancies.
I have a question.
Okay.
Did Director Smith, did he apply to be appointed to that Trillium Board? Is that an appointed position or
It is
an application?
It is an appointed position.
Okay.
Miss Bobby Lowe is going to get me some information
Okay.
on how to go forward.
Okay.
There are specifications that they.
So it's not something the public, we would want to recruit them to do. It would be an appointed from in-house, is that
We
correct?
will
Okay.
require application as
Applications,
normal,
okay.
but there are some recommendations and specifications that they have to meet.
Wanted to make sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a few other updates. The community surveys, we have received over 160 applications. Not applications. We've had 160 people fill out those surveys, and I will get the data available to present to the strategic planning team and the Board of Commissioners at our next meeting. A250 lecture series continues tomorrow. We did change the date this month, but it is the only month that it will not fall on the 2nd Thursday. So Marvin Tupper Jones will be here tomorrow, June 18th at 6 p.m., and he will be presenting on the legacy of Juneteenth soldiers who fought for freedom and justice during the Civil War, and that is here in this building right here. And then the only other update I have is county offices will be closed Friday in observance of Juneteenth.
All right, thank you.
What time is the speech tomorrow?
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, that's what I was just, thank you. All right. All right, so now we're moving on to item C, consideration of initial offer of surplus, or for surplus real property, parcel 01-00056. If Manager Sauer could address that item for the board, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. North Carolina law provides for the sale of surplus property in several mechanisms. through a public auction, through a sealed bid process, or through private negotiation with allowance for an upset bid. Gates County has received a proposal to purchase one of the properties that was acquired by the county through the foreclosure process by a Mr. Jamie Stedman. It's for a property on NC 37 North, just below Hackley Road. It's on the left-hand side. It's an open lot, 0.98 of an acre. The tax value on this property is $19,992. The tax obligation on the property is just over $4,400. $2,075.17 are taxes that are still due, and then there are attorney fees and appraisal and other documentation at $23.77. This proposal is for $3,500. Mr. Stedman has placed a 5% deposit, which is required by statute, and the board has the opportunity to accept, to reject, or to accept with the understanding that there's a 10-day upset period. We would have to advertise for that. I would suggest you add the cost of that advertisement to whatever price we end up to try to capture a little bit more of your fees, but his bid stands at $3,500, and we need to understand what your pleasure might be.
Okay.
And at any point, you could reject any bid if a bid
Excuse me.
cycle did not generate adequate compensation. That is solely the board's determination, but right now, there are no taxes being generated
Right. Right.
on this particular piece of property.
Okay, so we'll open up for
All
question, yeah.
total for what's owed to the county for this parcel is what?
$4,493.76. And he's offered $3,500.
And it's valued at
19,000.
19,000?
Actually, almost.
Tax value.
Tax value.
Yeah.
All right, so
Real property.
opinion, yeah,
It would be higher than that if you sold it outright.
right.
That's just tax value.
Is this, is this the only piece of property we currently have?
I think we have three additional. This just happened to be one that he became aware of, and I don't know if he lives next door to it or what, but this is the only one that we've received an offer, and the board could simply reject it if that's
How
your.
long have we had this?
It just came in the last maybe 60 days. Is that,
2019?
we've had this since 2019, okay.
No, the property.
Oh, we've owned it
We've owned
since,
it since
2019.
So seven years roughly.
yeah.
Can we list any of this property with like real estate agents?
Pardon?
Could we list any of these properties with real estate agents and try to sell them? Can I was just wondering.
Well, we could certainly,
I would like to see them at least pay the county the money due that's on it.
so I think.
So if it's a $3,500 offer, we'd reject that, but counter offer
Counter with 44.
$4,400.
Or round it up to
We've had it for
45.
7 years, it's sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And at $4,500, he's getting a great deal.
yeah.
All right, so we have a motion for that?
So it would be a motion to reject the offer of 3,500.
And counter with-
a counter offer
45.
for up to the 44.93 and 76
Yep,
cents.
that's my motion.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
If there is no further discussion, we will go for a vote. All in favor? Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. We have the amended agenda to include now this proclamation honoring the life and legacy of Patricia Miss Pat Brown Familar. I'm going to do my best to read this. I keep hearing my voice crack up here, but whereas Gates County mourns the passing of Patricia Miss Pat Brown Familar on June 5th, 2026, at the age of 84, a beloved librarian, educator, and devoted community servant. And whereas born on December 4th, 1941 in Hobbsville, North Carolina, Miss Familar was a lifelong advocate for education, graduating from Gatesville High School and East Carolina College before serving as a Peace Corps teacher in the Philippines. And whereas her dedication to education spanned continents and generations, as she taught both abroad and locally, instilling a love of learning in countless students and returning to Gates County to invest her talents in her home community. And whereas Ms. Familar served as branch manager of the Gates County Public Library beginning in September 1983, dedicating nearly 43 years to expanding access to knowledge, resources, and opportunity for all residents, regardless of circumstance. And whereas affectionately known as Miss Pat, she inspired generations of children through storytelling, music, and her cherished summer reading program, fostering a lifelong love of reading and learning throughout the county. And whereas her leadership guided the Gates County Public Library through decades of change, embracing new technologies and ensuring continued access to books, media, and educational opportunities for all citizens. And whereas her outstanding contributions were recognized by the Gates County Board of Commissioners in September 2023 for 40 years of service, and by the state of North Carolina with the William Roberts Award for Distinguished Library Service in October 2023. And whereas Ms. Familar's life was grounded in faith and service through her active membership in Zion United Methodist Church, where she faithfully taught Sunday school and served her congregation. And whereas her legacy is one of compassion, kindness, and unwavering commitment to her family, her faith, and the people of Gates County, leaving an enduring impact that will be felt for generations to come. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Gates County Board of Commissioners does hereby honor and celebrate the life and legacy of Patricia Miss Pat Brown Familar, expressing deep gratitude for her decades of dedicated service and her profound influence on the citizens of Gates County. And be it further proclaimed that the Gates County Public Library shall henceforth be named in her honor and be known as the Patricia Brown Familar Memorial Library, in lasting recognition of her extraordinary service and enduring impact on the community. And be it further proclaimed that the board encourages all residents to remember her example by fostering a love of learning, serving others with compassion, and strengthening the sense of community she so dearly valued. And be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be presented to her family as a token of the county's respect, appreciation, and heartfelt condolences. Signed this 17th day of June, 2026. All right. So if we get a motion to accept this proclamation.
So moved.
Second.
If there's any discussion, and I'll just add to discussion. This one was hard to read without tearing up a little bit. I don't know that there was a more genuine person, and just to know that she remembered like every person that came to the library, that came through those doors, she was phenomenal. I know that many had asked about it being a Miss Pat library. We went with her formal name, but I have been told that we are looking at having Miss Pat's library or something put on a sign by the door just to honor her Miss Pat title that we had so affectionately known her as for years and years. So I will open that up too.
I'd like to say that I'm willing, if somebody had mentioned publicly about trying to get together a fund to put up a monument or a plaque or something in the yard, I'm totally willing to support that, and I would encourage anybody that's thinking about that to contact us, figure out how we might do that, because several people have said they'd make contributions to a small monument or something that we could
So
place out there.
something we can look at going forward, yeah.
Not making a motion, just saying I totally support it.
Right.
And I also want to thank my Lions Club for doing the parking, helping with the traffic on short notice the other day. The Gates County Lions Club, we're dealing with that.
Yes, I also want to speak on Miss Pat. She made an impact on so many lives, touched so many lives through the library, but also through education. And she have a very humble spirit, a very meek spirit, but strong and willing to input into our children and even adults when we go to the library. So she's going to be greatly missed. I've known her for years, along with her husband. And I tell you, Miss Pat is leaving a great legacy for Gates County.
She is, she is.
That's it.
Okay, all right. All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. If we could go for a vote, all in favor? All right, thank you all. Okay. We are moving down, county manager report and updates.
Thank you. I have 9 items.
Oh, goodness.
I'll move quickly. At the Buckland Elementary School, since 2006, North Carolina State Climate Office has maintained a weather station at this location. And according to their staff, it provides critically important weather data for Gates County and northeastern North Carolina and for other purposes, such as data for agricultural review of disease monitoring of peanuts and herbicidal applications, and providing real-time data to the National Weather Service. They are requesting to maintain this weather station at that property. There would be no additional cost, no cost whatsoever to Gates County, but it's worked well for them at that location, and they would like to maintain that if that would be the board's pleasure.
Does that need to be in a motion or?
Let's have a motion if we could, because I think it'd be good to have that on record.
I will make the motion that we continue on. It helps our farmers and everything, so.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
So
Any
just some
discussion?
discussion.
Go
Where's
ahead.
it located at? Because that's kind of important for us to know, so somebody doesn't inadvertently mess with it. Or
I don't have a clue, but I'll find out.
we should find out and make sure we know that. And if necessary, before any actions were to be taken, any modifications out there, and make sure to give them time to
That's
mow.
fine. We
Yeah,
can,
we'll communicate
Yeah.
that to them.
yeah, just bring that back to us next meeting.
So,
I'll withdraw my motion for now.
thank you.
I want to support them because
Yeah.
it's great for
Yeah, I
our
agree.
community and weather, apps and everything.
Okay.
So
So it's going to be tabled.
even if they have to move it somewhere
Right.
where they don't have to go in the building or whatever, but I still want that to be there.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay.
Item 2.
Item number 2, the United States Army Corps of Engineers, Wilmington District, on June 5th, has issued a clarification related to wetlands regulations. And they are now strongly encouraging local governments to, number 1, amend local ordinances and regulations to remove requirements for a Corps of Engineers jurisdictional determination. Number 2, utilize private sector experts to perform accurate wetland delineations using the 1987 Army Corps of Engineers manual with the regional supplements. And number 3, promote the regulatory request system application submittals where federal delineation is necessary through the online portal versus using the Wilmington office. So this is just informational. We'll be sharing this with the planning board in the very near future, but
Okay.
Good and
this just hit the radar. As the governing body and the audience may recall, the county a few years back received just over $10 million for infrastructure improvements. We refer to that as SL 2023-134. Initially, the reversion date for unexpected funds was October of 2025. That was extended to June 30 of 2026, and we've been notified it's now been extended to June 30 of 2027. And I would imagine they'll probably modify that again, but that's just for information. Number 4, of those funds, the board approved 4 construction projects for water line construction here in Gates County. You approved those, that bid, it was TA11 Company, on March 18th. It was on June 9th that we received notice that we now have the authority to award the contract. The contracts were prepared by our engineering team at Green Engineering. They were hand-delivered to TA11's office in Goldsboro, and we hope to have those on the desk of the county attorney's office very soon. They are hopeful to have a pre-construction conference. I think it's July 10th. That's a Friday if my memory's correct. So hopefully you'll see some dirt moving very soon. Another project with the SL 134 program are 2 new water supply wells. We are working through the permitting process, and the next step that we need to achieve is to secure an option to purchase property. We'd like to recommend that we secure an option of an acre in areas designated by Dr. Sproul and go through a testing phase, and if the results are adequate, then exercise that option, and we'll come back to you with pricing and everything. But we want to start talking with property owners. We've already reviewed the maps with the county attorney. He's been advising us to avoid properties that might have complications with multiple errors in different places in the country for getting signatures on title transfers. So we are going to begin diligently looking at that. And I would imagine Mr. Wood might end up wrapping that up. I don't know. Pitt's going to have to work real hard between
In
now and June
13
30th.
days, I mean.
Sure.
So the obvious question for me is what we just talked about, an excess piece of property. Is any excess property you already own in those areas? Has
That's a
anybody
good
looked at
question. I don't believe the Hackley Road side is, but that's a good question.
that?
We
Yeah,
can
that's probably
review
worth
that.
looking at
Yeah.
instead of going out and buying something if we already have
Well,
something.
that'd sure be fortunate if
fair.
that were the case.
Okay.
Update on the construction of emergency replacement well 2A. The county experienced a failure in one of its 3 water supply wells back in January. And the board moved very quickly to initiating the permit process, which required the county to add additional land to the existing site so that we could maintain the setback regulated area established by the state. And the county received a land donation from an adjoining property owner to make this happen very rapidly. And County Attorney Godwin made just a very fortunate phone call, and it happened in less than 24 hours on that one. The stars and moon lined up well for us. But we are now in the well development stage, trying to evaluate the 5 screens that have been constructed, and we will soon be into the testing phase, and we hope to have certification by mid to late July to put that well into production. Another project, the water tank replacement here in Gatesville. Last item on the spec sheet is the color and whose picture is going to go on the tank. Brad Arnold is recommending we use a kind of a sky blue that's consistent with the other tanks, and I'd like to suggest that the board consider leaving it as Town of Gatesville, since it's in Gatesville in its original location. All of our other tanks do say Gates County water, but as the board will recall, when the appropriations were made by the state, the lion's share was tagged and directed for the Town of Gatesville, and I think it would be the respectful thing to do to label it Town of Gatesville if you would consider that, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can we put the Gates County logo on it though?
I was thinking something about, you mentioned, I know you were joking about a picture, but could we put the
Well,
county
you know,
emblem?
there was a time when we were, before we did our hydraulic analysis, where there was a possible strategy of putting the tank at the Merchants Commerce Center across from the high school, maybe having the Red Barons highlighted or something. But hydraulically, the most efficient place to have the
Yeah.
tank is its original location. But this will get the ball rolling for the bidding process. I think if there is a change that the board has to add some other.
No.
I'm not saying
Town of
take away
Gatesville. No.
Town of Gatesville, I'm simply saying have the county logo as well on there.
We could certainly make that happen.
It can be pricey.
Yeah,
though.
have like,
I mean,
yeah, county, that's why I was
it's,
wondering as far as.
I
to
just
put the
got
county
a
seal
change
there.
order where I'm at. They wanted $46,000
Just for the logo?
put a logo. It's a bigger tank than this, but, so we got
I
to be
retract
careful
my
about how
support
much
of that.
extra we
Well,
spend.
Well, we
That's
can,
what I'd like to say is if they say the logo is going to be 50,000, forget it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will do. Last week, the Community and Senior Center project took its first big step, meeting with the design team. We have one representative from the Merchants Commerce Committee. That was Ms. Reba Green Holly. We had staff from the Community Center. Mr. Warren Perry and I met with them. It was a very productive meeting, and we shared with them some of the board's discussions that came out of recent work sessions about adding to the scope and potential multi-year phased-in concept, possibly for an athletic track, possibly for a swimming pool, I think was mentioned. And they will begin fine-tuning a scope of work and trying to align that with a proposed contract to bring back to the board, because we have a set amount of grant money to utilize for that. This particular group apparently just recently, in the last 6 months, opened bids on a large educational complex up near Cary that had a 6-lane track. So I've asked them to give us a rough estimate on a budget for an 8-lane track, because I think that's what the board had talked about, just to get an indication of where we are potentially ballpark. And they indicated that since it was part of a large complex as a whole package, they might have gotten a better economy of scale on just the track, but it'll at least get us a range to work with for planning and fundraising and such. And the last item I have is the Local Government Commission did approve the county's audit contract, and preparations are being made to submit documents to them. They will be on the ground shortly, and Mr. Robertson is working diligently to get ready for that. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, moving into commissioner updates. Mix it up instead of starting at the end, and we'll go here first. Commissioner Roundtree.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank all Gates County citizens that is here in the House in attendance. It let the commissioners know that you are engaged, that you are concerned, and that you are active in what's going on in county government. And that's very critical. So I want to thank you, everyone that's in the House tonight. Thank you so much for attending. Also, tomorrow, Mr. Marvin Tupper Jones, he's going to be a part of Gates County, United States 250th anniversary. He's going to speak. He's going to speak about the soldiers that went, the Union soldiers that went to Galveston, Texas, to let the citizens there know that slavery is over. He's going to actually give the names of Gates County soldiers that were in that particular regiment. So that's going to be very interesting. That's going to be great. That's tomorrow. Also, this weekend I enjoyed the 2026 Juneteenth. We had a fabulous speaker, Mr. Benjamin Saunders, Congressman Don Davis. He was in attendance also. He spoke. And it was a good celebration, celebrating freedom from slavery. And plenty of vendors, great food, and fantastic entertainment. It was a great community event, and I'm thankful to be a part of that. Also, I want to thank my colleagues, Gates County Community Partnership, for receiving the North Carolina Governor Award. I'm very blessed to have directors to work along with that's looking out for the education and the social skills of our students, as well as partnering with education to accomplish this. Also, I want to announce the departure of DS Director Willis Smith and announce our new director, Mrs. Phyllis Parker. She has an outstanding resume, plenty of experience, and I anticipate she's going to do a fabulous job. Also, the Community Care Collaborative, which was created by the United Way, which was operated by the United Way, is going to have one-time emergency funds. They are now available. So contact either the Community Care Collaborative or the United Way for one-time emergency funding. And also, this concludes my updates. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Forsyth.
Yeah, I'd just like to give an update. This board voted and gave money to the Lions Club for the vision machine, vision check. Just an update. 2 of the people that we actually paid and sent to train, that is the Lions Club, actually ended up leaving the community. So we're in the process of retraining. Just as an update, we're still trying to shoot for having it available to start the school year with at least 2 or 3, and a couple of members of the community are pretty active. One in the Rurtons and one in the Lions Club and all, they're going to get the training. But just as an update, in case you haven't heard anything, the board knows that there might still being looked at and not being sitting there wasted. It's going to happen shortly. Then the next thing I wanted to touch on, I want to stress again, we haven't said it enough, I don't feel like, the hard work the school board's been putting in. I think that's important, and that goes along with the other thing I want to stress is, and probably y'all will speak about it some, but advocacy days this week when we went and all of the school board showed up and the commissioners together, and both our representative, Mr. Bill Ward, and Senator Bobby Hannock both made a point to note, they said it's going to be real well known that Gates County showed up with both boards together coming and asking for the state's support for various things. And I think that was a big deal. You know, there's been some healthy tension, I'd call it, with going back and forth and working through this budget year. But it's a great thing that the two boards now seem to be coalescing together for the, I guess, the better picture of the future. And I want to say again publicly, the school board has been working extra hard. It's amazing the amount of hours and time they've put into that. So I want to thank them from my perspective and note the advocacy days. And the last thing is noting the award, the governor's recognition. I think that's great. A group that does so much for the community, went to the graduation, saw all those scholars that were recognized as part of that work, which is a great thing. And I think that just represents, I think our county manager made at the last meeting a comment about Gates County people taking care of each other. And that goes a long ways. I think we got this recognition, I guess, a year ago, was it Mr. Erna Bright got recognized, got a medallion winner, and then a couple years before that, another member had gotten it. So we've had 3 or 4 members, and this is just great, continuing the line of great service to the community. I think that's a wonderful thing. So that's all I've got.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. As echo off Commissioner Raintree, it does make a difference, and it's sometimes this is not a thankless job, but a thankless job. And to have people call and express their opinions and fight for their community, and then come out and see all these faces in the audience it makes a difference. It really does. And thank y'all for coming tonight. I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Sauer and his team. We passed the budget tonight. So I've been out of pocket some. My work's been crazy. I didn't make it to advocacy days with the group. My wife's grandmother passed away. She was 92 years old, so we had to have her celebration. But thank you for the team and all the work that the commissioner's done, all the communication, the I don't want to say combativeness, but the well-tensioned debates that we've had. It's been good. It's all for the right reasons. It really is. Everybody's viewpoints. So 911 advisory board. Anyway, we consolidated our 911 systems a couple of years ago because our system here failed. That opened us up for other grants, being a regional 911 system, 2 communities gathered together as a 911 system. As most of you know, all of our dispatch comes from Clemens County. That made us eligible for grants being combined, and they're going to have a dedication on July 20th. It's a private thing. You got to have an invitation to go, but I just want to announce it, that the Clemens Gates 911 Communications Center and the continued partnership between Clemens and Gates County, they've added on to their center. We've got grants, so it's twice as big as it was, so they can continue to serve us as they have been. I hadn't heard any complaints in a long time about it.
Yeah.
So that was not an easy transition for us, having our own 911 right here in the county. I know it was hard for some citizens and myself, to be in a different county, but they've been serving us well. So there's going to be an open house and dedication on that day. I will make sure, even if I got to take a day off and then go to it, to show my appreciation for what they've done for us. So that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
I again want to extend my congratulations to the Gates County Community Partnership. You know, that's a great honor to be able to get a award for the governor like that for your volunteer service. So that is pretty great for that group of folks and for our county for all the good work that they do. So I really do appreciate that and all their hard work. You know, I'm sure the chair is going to touch base on a few things on the advocacy days as well, but it was a good discussions that we had to have with our representatives there in Raleigh, and to be able to have that with our fellow board members from the Board of Education and to give them that opportunity for them to advocate for the needs of our school system and what we need to do there was also just a good thing for them to be able to have that opportunity and give them a voice for that was well spent at the end of the day with all of that. If there is a pretty good sized pamphlet that kind of been put together in almost a book here that the chair and also Madam Clerk put together all that stuff, and we were able to have a nice presentation for our needs as a county. Several things that we have listed in there. If you ever want to take a chance to read that, it's a lot of information about Gates County and the needs that we have, the dollars it's going to take to be able to do the things over time. We're not asking for the state to give us all that at one time. We just trying to get in line.
They can if they want.
That's right. They can if they want, but we just want to get in line and get our little piece of the state pie that they do give out to all the other counties as well too. So you got to be there and have those conversations with them so that way they understand what your needs are and we can go from there. So that concludes mine.
All right, thank you. And I'll ask, I think these are, if they have not been, will be posted online. It is online, so it's on the county website so that you can access what we presented to legislators and to our lobbyists while there. And I'll just kick off with that part first because it's the end of yours. While there, it was interesting to have conversations with other commissioners from across the state when, I mentioned, well, hey, I can't stand around here. We have our school board with us. And they're like, well, you brought your school board? Or how'd you get them to come? And we simply invited them and they said yes. And just being able to bridge that gap a little bit, I know that there have been some contentious meetings and various opinions and disagreements with that process and also with our budget process, but that is what the purpose of democracy is. One person doesn't get to run the show. It's the vote of the majority and it's supposed to be for the betterment of the county. So we have to trust the democratic process there. But we did have a good time. We had to narrow it down. They're in the short session now, so we knew that we could not go in with a big ask on the front end. The most urgent asks were for the school, for the HVAC at the Gatesville Elementary School, and then for the 3 ambulances that we've been asking for with federal government support, and we're also petitioning at state. We're asking on every level where we can go. So hopefully we will see some turnaround on one of those 2 fairly soon, and then the other items moving forward as we work together with the school board to get a more formalized plan of action for the next 5 to 10 years on where we want to see the county go. I was also going to mention the 911. I moved vacation a few days for being able to attend that. So if anyone knows me, they know that public safety is my heart. So when I had that invitation, I had to call my brother who we're going to visit in Nebraska and ask if I could move some days around because it mattered to me to be there. I'm excited about this. I think it's gone really well. There was a lot of apprehension. There were a lot of questions, lots of concerns, lots of emotions in regard to consolidating. But again, as has happened with the elementary schools, sometimes change and moving forward hurts. And it hurt to have to undo all the work of those that put in hours and time and money into getting the 911 center here, but it has better served our community for it over these past couple of years. And then just a heads forward, in August, we'll be talking a little bit more next month about our upcoming annual conference that we have in Durham County for the NCACC. We'll have delegate selection and all those type things coming up at the July meeting. So I'm excited about that. That's always a really good time for the board. They have phenomenal speakers. They have just updates on what's happening around the state, different policies and different bills that are being pushed forward, legislative updates, but they really do provide a great deal of education, and everyone there that you talk to will say that it is exciting to see Gates County there. Before the past 5 to 6 years, Gates County was not there, and 5-6 years ago, Gates County started showing up, and I've been on for almost 4 years, and I'm happy to continue being there. This current board here continue being there and showing up for Gates County and asking, because we can't get anything if we don't leave home to ask for it. So that is where I'm at. I am happy to see this budget season end and roll into all of the other things that we need for strategic planning and such. So if there is nothing else, yes? Yeah,
Personal privilege?
sure.
If my calendar's correct, this is the last meeting for County Attorney Pitt Godwin.
Yes.
And I want to say a big thank you publicly for your guidance, your support, and your accessibility. There's never been a time when I've called, text, or walked across the street that you didn't open the door and welcome me in just to listen to me lay out the saga of Gates County. But I want to say a big
Well,
public
it's been
I
my
agree.
pleasure for the past 25 years to serve as county attorney, and all the boards, this board and boards past, and all the county, hard-working county officers. It's hard to believe that time frame has passed by, but it's time for me to, like to say, an old lawyer doesn't just retire, they lose their appeal. So I see on the back wall back here, two of my very close relatives, Walter Godwin and my Uncle Pilson Godwin. And it's been a pleasure. I was born and raised here, and I appreciate everybody's kindness to me. And I know my law partner, Thomas Wood, was very capable and looks forward to picking up and taking the reins. Thank y'all all.
I agree. Just make sure your phone number doesn't change. Okay, but yeah, no, I agree. It's phenomenal, and we are looking forward to the I know you are looking forward to the transition into retirement, so we are excited for you. Okay, with all business on the agenda done, if we could get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So second.
All in favor? All right, we are adjourned. That's the one vote I know isn't going to ever have a discussion.
No.
Can we adjourn?
No, we can talk some more.
We've got a close to that.